So, so that touches upon something else I was wondering about, and that is how the series is unique. And doing just some basic research online, it does seem to be unique in that regard, in its accessibility and just how it kind of gives an overview on these different fascinating different aspects of the psychology field. I mean, is that your take too on what distinguishes this psychology series?
Yes, I mean, in a way, most of these type of books, if they're in academia, they tend to be things like A Very Brief Guide, which is another series, but they tend to be written at a very sophisticated, scholarly, dense, jargony level, which means they're still very good books, but it is designed for other academics. On the other end, you have things like the For Dummies series, which has been wildly successful, and it is kind of somewhere in the middle of that territory, carving out its own niche of academia for dummies, so to speak, except instead of dummies, just people who don't know as much about a field as they'd like.
Hmm. Hmm. How do you envision this series evolving?
One of the things that we're always doing is looking for what is interesting, compelling topics that are out there that boast a growing area of research, growing acceptance by the field as a core issue, and that have enough interest that people who don't just specialize in it would still want to learn more about it. And as the field progresses, as new topics emerge, as old topics rise to more prominence, and as really interesting cutting edge work gets done, one of our goals is to eventually have a very, very large array of topics covered by our own unique group of experts so that it would be possible, for example, to plan a course with two or three 101 books instead of a large, bulky $200 textbook,
Hmm. Hmm.
or to be able to really explore an area via these more personal and kind of tailored guides.
Hmm.
In addition, I can imagine in the future doing things that take advantage of the rapid changes in publishing, such as using perhaps something on the iPads, perhaps interactivity, things that are resources available online, things like that possibly in the future.